is my 2020 Fender Baritone Strat. It's a baritone conversion neck, just bolted to a regular Strat body, and that makes it a 27-inch baritone overall. It's got one of the baritone Fender necks that they were doing at the beginning of 2020. I think they were called the SubSonic baritone conversion necks, and I just bolted it to an old Squier that I had lying around that wasn't getting any use. The pickups I put into it are a Seymour Duncan SH5, I think it's a custom. It's a Warman Texas Hot something or other, it sounds really nice, and a Seymour Duncan quarter pounder. I dropped in a wiring kit from Home of Tone. It's their HSS designed wiring kit. So you've got a dedicated bridge tone pot, which is 500k to see a humbucker, and a 250k pot for the neck and middle pickups. The volume then is 250k, but it's got a resistor over the humbucker positions so that the humbucker sees 500 or as close to 500 on the volume pot. So you get really thick sounds on the humbucker positions, and you get true single coil sounds in the single coil positions. I put this guitar together because I've been drop tuning other guitars and it just got to the point where I realized I needed more tension, I needed more scale length, and I didn't really want to buy another guitar. So I decided to look into buying all the parts, and they actually totaled just under what it would cost to buy one of the baritones that I was looking at. So I picked up all the parts and just in one afternoon bolted everything together. It was a case of just bolted on. There was no adjustments or anything needed. I haven't even touched the truss rod on the neck. The only thing I did have to do was have the nut cut. I had it sent to a local tech to have the nut slots cut on that. Everything else was just bolted on and it was ready to play. I just had to solder on the output jack for the wiring kit and solder the pickups to the wiring harness, and that was it. Overall, the guitar sounds really good. I wasn't expecting it to kind of come together as well as it did. It feels like a Fender you could have pulled off a wall in the shop. I've had no problems with intonation or tuning or anything like that. It's really stable in terms of tuning. I have heard of some conversion necks being hard to adjust or having bad intonation, things like that. I haven't even had to touch the truss rod on this since I built it. This is really something I would recommend doing if you were thinking of getting a baritone and maybe you've got a guitar like this, like your first electric or like something from a starter kit lying around. I think this is a good way to figure out whether you're into playing a baritone without necessarily spending the full money on a new guitar and having it take up that extra room. If you'd like to know anything more about this particular guitar or the baritone neck or the process of the build or anything like that, drop me a comment and let me know. I'd be happy to hear. Thanks for watching.